Hey there, in this video I'm going to show you how to do a bow hold for violin and viola, how to start that bow hold using just a pencil. So what I'll do is I'll just go through the steps as I would in class, and then I'll go back and I'll talk about kind of some of the reasoning and rationale behind each of the different steps. All right, so first thing we'll do is we will take our right hand, we'll shake it out, nice and floppy right hand on our knee with our palm facing up, and then we will take our pencil, which we will hold by the eraser, purposely in the wrong hand, and we'll take that pencil, we're going to lay the stick of the pencil down into the top line of our middle finger, just like that. Then we'll take our thumb, wiggle that thumb, keep that thumb nice and loose, take the tip of that thumb and have it go to meet that top line of the middle finger where you laid your pencil, but notice how the pencil's in the way. Okay, so we're going to keep that right there. Now we'll pause right here to turn our hand sideways, and I want you to take a look at that nice open circle you have formed by the thumb and that middle finger. We want to keep that circle nice and open. One of the ways we do that, one of the important ways we do that, is by taking a look at that knuckle of our thumb. Notice how that knuckle of our thumb is kind of pointed out away from our hand. That's a good thing. We want that. What we don't want is that thumb curved in towards your hand, because look how that closes the circle, right? It kind of smushes everything in there, right? And in fact, we have a name for this. We call it the banana thumb. So no banana thumb with your bow hold. Okay, so our thumb is poking out, nice big circle. All right, so continuing on, now what we'll do is we'll turn our palm upside down and we'll hold the pencil on the side here just for stability, and we will take our index finger, we're going to call that index finger Lazy Cousin Earl. Lazy Cousin Earl doesn't want to do much, so what he's going to do, he's just going to lay sideways on the stick, just like that, okay? So nice sideways, Lazy Cousin, that first finger there. And now, our ring finger, we're going to call that the copycat. It's going to be the copycat because it's going to be just like the middle finger in that it's going to meet the stick right at its top line, right there. Okay, so we have top line of the middle finger. Okay, Lazy Cousin Earl, copycat here, nice pokey thumb. And then the last one is our pinky. So what we're going to do with our pinky, we'll turn the pencil over, hold it by the tip here, and we'll take that pinky and let it stand on top of the stick, just like so. Now it's standing kind of like a ballerina on its tippy toes, right? It's still curved here, but it's standing on top of the stick. And that is our pencil bow hold. All right, so now I'll go back and I'll kind of talk about each one of those steps. I purposely start with nothing in my bow hand because one of the things I want to establish is everything just being really, really relaxed. So that's why I have us flop out our hands, and I tell them to flop it on their knee. I use words like flop, right, to enforce that idea of relaxation. Okay, and so now once it's here, students can kind of see, and you can kind of see the natural curvature that occurs in the hand when it's just in its neutral, relaxed position. That's important because the final bow hold should replicate that to some extent. So we take the pencil, I purposely have them take it in their wrong hand, because we're going to use it to lay into the bow hand rather than grabbing with the hand like that. So again, we're promoting this idea of relaxation. I'm going to pause for a second to say that I'm using a pencil that's sharpened like it normally would be. Typically what I'll do is I'll have students use an unsharpened pencil. I would use one for this example, but I just happened to have run out. And I would use one as a teacher as well, just because, you know, when I'm done teaching for that class, I'll put it in my pocket for the next class, and I don't want to get poked by that thing. And of course, students, you don't want them poking each other as well. So typically what I will do is I will just have an unsharpened pencil. So it's flopped here, and I have them lay it across that top line of the middle finger because it's going to help form that fulcrum. And at this stage, I'll often pause and I'll walk around the classroom and I'll make sure it really is here rather than being on some other line or between lines, okay? And that's important. I wiggle the thumb, again, at as many steps as I can. Excuse me, I am reinforcing again relaxation here. So I wiggle the thumb and have it rest on the pencil, okay, using the word rest rather than place it there or stick it there. So I'll have it rest here. And I want students to see, I have them turn it sideways because I want them to see that openness, that sense of, again, relaxation, of freedom rather than the smushedness. And I will introduce this idea of the banana thumb. So I pause in the lesson to talk about those things, okay? And then you heard me name this index finger Lazy Cousin Earl. I don't know why I started calling it that. I don't have a cousin Earl. But in any event, again, I'm using the words like lazy, right? Because I want them to feel like they're laying the finger down rather than mechanically placing it someplace, right? So that's my rationale behind that. The copycat, calling this one the copycat, just talks about the idea that it's just going to do the same thing as the middle finger, nothing new. And then I take time to talk about the pinky because, as you can see, it's the only one of these fingers that doesn't flop over the stick of the bow, or in this case, the pencil. It stands here. And I talk about the fact that it's still curved because one of the things you're going to see with your students is you'll see things like this, where they'll take that pencil, that pinky rather, and they'll stretch it out kind of towards the end of the bow, and you want to make sure that you point out the fact that it should still be curved like all the fingers. All the fingers, you'll see the knuckles have this nice open curvature. Okay, so that is the pencil bow hold.